Greetings, my comrades! Remember to share your thoughts and relish in the narrative. The radiant sun graces the world outside, illuminating one of the esteemed academies. Eager students emerge, wearing joyous expressions, realizing that their endeavors had taken more time than anticipated. They jest, claiming to have randomly chosen answers and engaged in idle banter. Unbeknownst to them, military vehicles silently passed by their school. These individuals, often dismissed as mere students, were from a specialized school. However, upon scrutinizing the emblems, it became apparent that they hailed from the Warrior Academy. This seemingly mundane occurrence marked the onset of a chilling saga in the world. Without warning or indication, portals opened, unleashing dragons and a myriad of creatures, including a colossal dragon that left observers in awe. Scientific revelations had previously confirmed the existence of a world in the universe akin to Earth. On this planet, a catastrophic incident led to its fragmentation into minuscule pieces, which began gravitating towards Earth. On that fateful day, fragments merged with Earth, giving rise to a colossal tree at its center, the phenomenon termed adhesion. The laws of nature manifested in peculiar ways, introducing a variety of monsters on Earth. The emergence of the multi-headed Hydra and tsunamis led to designated dangerous zones known as dungeons. These dungeons harbored formidable monsters like the Horned Dread, impervious to conventional weaponry. Bullets proved ineffective, rendering soldiers helpless in the face of these monstrous adversaries. The catastrophe not only unleashed havoc, but also bestowed upon humans newfound strength, enabling them to confront the monsters. Though all of humanity experienced this empowerment, the awakened abilities varied among individuals. The chosen ones embarked on training, while others formed specialized agencies, adventurers, to reclaim control of the dungeons. Thus commenced the era of dungeons, heralded as the era of adventurers, as people worldwide celebrated their accomplishments. Training centers for adventurers proliferated globally, with the Warrior High School in the Republic of Korea standing out as a renowned institution that produced exceptional adventurers for a quarter century. As the students conversed about the unfolding events, their confidence in facing dungeon challenges resembled that of a routine test. Having received permission to delve into dungeons, they exhibited unwavering self-assurance. The discussion shifted to a half-elf named Dai of Choi, renowned for his frequent dungeon expeditions. Holding the rank of senior soldier at the age of 17, Yuyan found himself in a predicament as he observed his grandfather or father still confined to a hospital bed. The mounting hospital bills, a burden he couldn't escape, loomed over him. He had received repeated notifications about unpaid bills for Major July's medical expenses, an exorbitant amount that weighed heavily on his shoulders. Amidst these financial woes, messages from his boss flooded his phone, urging him to procure a prosthesis and attend to a job. While Yuyan's thoughts were preoccupied with these pressing matters, a half-elf classmate noticed him. The sudden attention sparked curiosity among classmates, wondering if Yuyan had provoked the half-elf in some way. However, the half-elf dismissed it, claiming it was nothing more than a fleeting imagination. Undeterred by his reluctance, Yuyan reluctantly made his way to a desolate location resembling an abandoned subway station. His boss, Yuyan, a 37-year-old broker with ashen hair and a penchant for smoking, welcomed Yuyan, removing his earpiece, greeted everyone and expressed readiness for work. Their client, a bold man, expressed dissatisfaction, loudly proclaiming that they deserved a better employee than a mere schoolboy. The broker defended Yuyan, asserting that they had already secured the best available talent. Unconvinced, the bald man insisted on a more competent replacement and threatened consequences. In the midst of this tense exchange, the beefy man standing behind the bald client, Li Pailu, a 34-year-old silver-rank adventurer with 81 dungeon expeditions under his belt, faced inquiries about his role. The bald man's escalating aggression prompted Li Pailu to threaten Yuyan with bodily harm. The demand for Yuyan to kneel and beg for mercy echoed, setting the stage for a potentially dangerous confrontation. As the short, bald man continued to shout, Yuyan glanced at his boss, who calmly smoked his cigarette, unperturbed. Sensing the need to take action, Yuyan decided to mock the situation. He boldly declared that he wasn't afraid, yet uncertainty lingered in his eyes. Our hero, in all his glory, bore the full name of Yuya. At 17 years old, he was a seasoned smuggler from the notorious Donking Dungeon, having illegally returned from the dungeon an astounding 371 times. For those unfamiliar, smugglers were considered vile criminals posing a threat to the world. The dungeons were a focal point for adventurers who toiled diligently to explore their depths. Successfully conquering a dungeon meant acquiring countless treasures. However, before adventurers could leave the dungeon, they were obligated to surrender their treasures for verification. This precaution was necessary due to the incredible strength possessed by some adventurers. Distributing these treasures without oversight could lead to misuse, endangering lives. The Adventurers Association played a crucial role in this process. They would register and verify the treasures and impose taxes based on their value. Yet, some individuals chose to defy this rule. They lured adventurers who were averse to paying hefty taxes, pocketing the treasures in secret. Failing to apprehend these individuals would result in societal losses. The bald man, driven by a sense of justice, approached the broker, questioning his intentions. However, the broker responded with laughter, dismissing the concerns. The bald man persisted, accusing the broker of fear. Yuyan, preparing for the impending confrontation, asserted that it was the broker who should be afraid. Our hero, having faced a bully's resignation due to an attack on a teammate, had no qualms about confronting wrongdoing. The tension escalated as the bald man, driven by anger, believed it would be easy to deal with such garbage as our hero. Jiren, our protagonist, heard this with a calm demeanor, signaling the beginning of a showdown. To withstand the harshest blows and protect their comrades, as our hero, Yuyan, stood confidently in the face of the escalating conflict, openly mocking the bully. Shock registered on the bald man's face. Kuraga, witnessing Yuya's actions, began to see our hero as a genuine psycho. Without much hesitation, the thug launched a punch at Yuya, who effortlessly dodged it. Yuya admonished the bully for his rudeness, emphasizing that attacking out of the blue was unacceptable. Undeterred, the bully intensified his aggression, fueled by an aura of anger. Yuya, maintaining his composure, delivered a light kick, declaring that it was enough for the day. The broker observed the spectacle with an inscrutable expression, while the bald man struggled to comprehend the unfolding events. The broker, unperturbed, mentioned inviting the most experienced person he knew. Yuya, still enjoying himself, expressed surprise at the unexpected turn of events. Despite the bully's intimidating appearance, Yuya believed he should have been stronger. Lee Pilgu, caught in a state of confusion, perceived Yuya as a mere teenage smuggler, underestimating his true abilities. Yuya's reflexes and the strength of his blows surpassed expectations. The broker noted the bully's realization that this might not be a fight he could win. The bald man, shouting at the broker to focus on the fight, hoped the muscular guy could still emerge victorious. However, the broker discerned that the bully, enduring Yuya's blows, displayed the resilience of a tank. He urged the bald man not to overlook the subtle cues. The tank, having ripped his shirt off, gritted his teeth and accused Yuya of being a nasty smuggler reliant on cheap tricks. He vowed to demonstrate the full strength that reflected the adventurer's spirit. In this world, abilities beyond one's limitations were awakened after the adhesion incident. Each person possessed unique abilities, talents, and hidden powers. Adventurers, trained according to their abilities, played specific roles. The tank, utilizing mass augmentation techniques, iron skin enchantments, and giant power enchantments, embraced his tactical role. Positioned on the front lines, tanks faced monsters head-on. Their bodies trained to withstand the dungeon's dangers and protect their teammates. The unfolding conflict now revealed the clash of abilities and tactics between Yuya, the defiant smuggler, and the tank, determined to prove his strength. Their abilities, and each rank represents a certain level of proficiency. However, the highest class tanks, designated for team defense, were known for their remarkable ability to repel even the overwhelming firepower of missiles. They were the fortress, the shield that stood against threats from all directions. As the battle unfolded, Yuya, our hero, recognized the formidable nature of his opponent. The tank, displaying strength akin to breaking the floor with a mere 2 hands, revealed himself as a true adventurer. The broker, observing from the sidelines, swiftly attended to the fallen bald man, ensuring he was unharmed. In the broker's eyes, anyone daring to challenge Yuya was a complete fool. Yuya, agile and perceptive, dodged the provocations of the tank. Despite the goon's attempts to lure him into traps, Yuya remained resolute. The broker, assessing the situation, acknowledged the tank's formidable physical strength, likening it to that of a powerful truck, urging Yuya to finish the battle quickly to avoid further destruction and associated costs. The broker was concerned about potential financial repercussions. Feeling the urgency, Yuya sensed trouble if he didn't conclude the fight swiftly. However, the tank believed the broker failed to grasp the situation. In a taunting manner, the tank asserted that Yuya's old tricks wouldn't penetrate the body of a professional. Unfazed, Yuya seized a nearby pipe, signaling his readiness for the impending clash. The tank, driven by fury, unleashed a forceful charge, creating a whirlwind around him. Yuya recognized that, despite societal perceptions, tanks were not invincible. They had a clear weakness, a natural enemy capable of concentrating powerful destructive force at a specific point. Yuya, wielding the pipe with skill, struck at the tank's vulnerable point. The supposedly invincible creature fell, powerless before the strategic attack. As the tank lay on the floor in disbelief, Yuya's actions defied expectations. The tank couldn't comprehend where Yuya had learned such techniques. Yuya, however, remained oblivious to the tank's thoughts, and even if he attempted to explain, the likelihood of being understood was uncertain. The possibility lingered that the tank had glimpsed something akin to Yuya's father, introducing an intriguing layer to the unfolding narrative. In their world, adventurers were classified into 4 ranks: stone, copper, silver, and gold, based on their skills and achievements. Each rank denoted a specific level of expertise, forming the hierarchy within the adventurer community. The ranking system in their world brought various advantages, including permission to enter dungeons and tax reductions. The top 100 adventurers, known as rankers, were classified into 4 ranks based on their achievements and skills, distinguished by colors. This hierarchy formed the pinnacle of the adventurer community. As Yuya continued walking along the corridor of a rather old house, memories of his father flooded his mind. His father, Yuyan, was not only his parent, but also a legendary first-generation adventurer. Yuya's earliest memories involved watching his father practice with his famous spear in the courtyard. Yuyan was among the pioneers, facing the unknown challenges of the dungeons during a tumultuous era. The first generation of adventurers faced unimaginable hardships, with many perishing due to the lack of information about dungeons and the creatures inhabiting them. Monsters like Gumula posed significant threats, and the absence of skills and equipment tailored for monster combat made survival a constant trial. Yuyan, Yuya's father, earned the nickname Dragon Slayer, a testament to his exceptional skills and achievements. He was not just a father to Yuya, but a figure the young adventurer respected above all else. However, tragedy struck when Yuyan began coughing up blood due to poisoning during his research. Despite years of attempting to overcome the deadly poison, his body succumbed, and his colleagues took advantage of his vulnerability, appropriating his achievements and property. Yuyan suffered both mentally and physically for many years, and Yuya visited him constantly. Yet, a year later, as the world started to forget the Dragon Slayer, Yuyan became a shadow of his former self. The incurable poison robbed him of everything, and all that remained was the forgotten memory of the once white adventurer. Yuya, reflecting on these painful memories, felt a profound sense of loss for the man he once considered invincible. The atmosphere hung heavy with tension, but the broker reassured the bald man that everything had gone smoothly. The bald man, however, couldn't fathom his bully losing to a seemingly inexperienced kid. The broker speculated that perhaps the bully wasn't a good adventurer, highlighting that boasting about defeating a friend was a sign of weakness. Yuyan, contemplating the reasons for a good adventurer's retirement, believed it was either due to a body too damaged to continue or death during exploration. Without knowing the bully's background, Yuyan suggested it might be better to let him go, emphasizing that anyone could build a strong character. Approaching the bald man with an arm over his shoulder, the broker discussed payment. Despite the bald man's initial resistance, the broker insisted that they didn't work for free. Realizing the unfavorable situation, the bald man reluctantly agreed to the doubled payment. Meanwhile, Yuya, feeling thirsty, took a moment to hydrate. As the broker casually brought up the Imperial Wasp, Yuya's reaction was immediate. Spitting out his water, he asked if he had to fight it. The Imperial Wasp, considered the highest level danger monster, had its nest in a fateful place called Yuo, merging the Korean demon realm with the highest difficulty. The broker, lighting a cigarette, explained that even top-ranked adventurers would find it challenging to deal with the flying creatures. Yuya, contemplating the situation, started calculating his chances. The broker revealed that a big raid occurred the previous day, unreported by the government army. a squad comprised of high-ranked adventurers and the army sought to track down the Queen Imperial Wasp. Yuyan, considering the circumstances, knew that if even two top-ranked adventurers were in the same location, they would cause chaos. The broker explained that one of the 7 had stolen the royal jelly, the Wasp's food supplement, and hired a smuggler to bring it. As the broker shared this information, a sense of gravity settled over Yuyan, realizing that the encounter with the Imperial Wasp could prove to be an unprecedented and perilous challenge. The realization hit the main character as he grasped the significance of the Imperial Wasp royal jelly. However, a sudden bout of confusion and pain struck him, questioning why white-rank adventurers would hire a smuggler for a mere food supplement. The broker explained that there had been cases of Imperial Wasp royal jelly entering the world, and consuming it was rumored to grant the ability to rise from the dead. Despite claims of strict control over dungeon entrances by the Adventurer Association and the government, the broker revealed the truth. In front of the smoker, there existed a gate that immediately opened upon touch, exposing the falsehoods perpetuated by the authorities. The broker, offering words of caution and wishing luck to the hero, sparked up a smoke, contemplating the situation. The main character, puzzled by the broker's smoking ritual, sought an explanation. The broker clarified that he wondered why his employee, seemingly unaffected by the cautionary words, might not care due to the rumored resurrection abilities of the royal jelly. However, the main character dismissed such rumors, asserting that even if it were a cure-all, it couldn't save his father. As the gate opened before him, the hero stepped forward, bathed in the unusually bright sunlight. The earth had sprouted dungeons after the adhesion, and among them, 2 in Korea stood out. The first was in Jeju, merged with the volcanic mountain range, and the second in Edo, at the center of Seoul. The latter, a former Boreum district, held a Den Hazard rating, covering Mapo, Yongsan, and Yeongjuno. Much of it remained unexplored, claiming the lives of many adventurers. The mission for our hero was to inspect the designated area and retrieve items, if any. The broker explained that someone managed to traverse from the higher danger ranks to Da, but the connection was lost at an ambiguous location. Doubts arose about the person's survival, suspecting injuries or accidents. The broker believed there was much to gain from the area, urging the hero to focus on the task at hand. With a smile, Yuyan questioned the broker if he truly believed he would run away with the goods. The white-haired man responded cryptically, leaving an air of uncertainty hanging over the upcoming expedition. Yuyan, having received a cryptic response from the broker, was urged to be careful and reminded of the immense value of Imperial Wasp royal jelly, knowing that others were willing to risk their lives for it as well. Yuyan donned a mask and started moving with ropes to navigate precisely where he needed to go. He was certain the entire forest was teeming with the scent of the jelly. Amidst the forest, a young elf named Jin Serum, a first year at the Warrior Academy, found herself in a precarious situation. What was supposed to be a simple dungeon trip for an exam turned into a life-altering encounter with a monster that should not have been there. Facing an unexpected threat, she was bewildered and scared, realizing that the supposedly straightforward exam had taken an ominous turn. The initial premise of the exam was to collect as many coins hidden in the dungeon as possible, simulating a real combat situation. However, everyone believed this to be an easy task, since the location was considered a beginner's training ground with supposedly low-level, unintelligent monsters. To her dismay, Jin Serum found herself confronted by a Titan primate, still young, but as large as 3 danger stars. The monster, with a sinister smile, seemed impervious to her attacks. Even the arrows from her bow got stuck in its hand without causing harm. Despite her attempts, she couldn't penetrate the primate's tough skin. Desperate, she tried to use her skills, but the primate, smiling with madness, showed no signs of vulnerability. Realizing escape was impossible, Jin Serum decided to fight and hoped for a miracle. Wanting the primate to come closer, she anticipated that it wouldn't dodge or block. In a moment of determination, Jin Serum tapped into her magical abilities as a magic archer. She unleashed a skill, producing an incredible fire shot that blazed through everything in its path. The unfolding battle between the elf and the formidable Titan primate hung in the balance. Prepared herself for the monster's attack, Jin Serum decided to use a magical arrow with an explosion effect, hoping it would deal the greatest damage. However, the monster unexpectedly jumped higher than she anticipated, catching onto a nearby tree. Despair filled her face as she realized the attack had failed. As she contemplated whether to run, the monster started running toward her with the same crazed expression. But before it could reach her, a powerful force hit the monster, sending it flying. Yuyan, the main character, had arrived just in time. Shocked and relieved, Jin Serum thought she had been saved. However, Yuyan, realizing his initial blow wasn't enough, took out a tool from his arsenal. A stun torch made from the scales of a shimmering fish in deep-sea dungeons. Swiftly and efficiently, he used the tool to immobilize the monster. The stun torch was known for its immobilizing ability, but its clumsy use had led to its ban due to adventurers losing their eyesight. As the elf opened her eyes, Yuyan informed her that he had saved her and urged her to act quickly before the monster regained its senses. Yuyan, mindful of the dangerous nature of dungeons, ran ahead, leaving the elf behind. He remembered the broker's words that smugglers were like cockroaches, expected to navigate through challenges for a good reward. Taking a moment to check if he was being followed, Yuyan noticed that only the elf was trailing him. Deciding to hide, he jumped high into the air, disappearing from sight. Jin Seram, surprised by his sudden disappearance, could only wonder where he had gone, convinced that he was right in front of her just moments ago. Yuyan, thinking that the elf had fallen from the branches and was attempting to pin him to the ground, couldn't comprehend her intentions. The elf, lying on the ground with a satisfied expression, attempted to express her gratitude for being saved, but Yuyan suspected that she might be trying to deceive him. Warning her not to bully him, he declared that he wasn't interested in the affairs of a wealthy warrior school student. As Yuyan turned away from her, he noticed the familiar symbol on her t-shirt indicating that she was affiliated with a warrior school. Despite his reluctance, the elf revealed that she knew he was a smuggler and offered him a job. However, Yuyan sternly declined, stating that he wouldn't help again and had no interest in the wealthy elf's antics. He warned her not to get in his way, emphasizing the seriousness of his words. Upon seeing the bounty on smugglers with a reward of 50 million and the capture reward of about 450 million, Yuyan turned to the elf with an aggressive demeanor. However, he noticed a unique item resembling a bloodied kill's tooth, indicating that the elf had caught at least 5 of the creatures. The elf proposed an agreement, offering an advance payment and promising an even higher sum if he assisted her with the exam. Reluctantly, Yuyan exhaled and acknowledged that things were taking an unexpected turn. Realizing that this might be an opportunity to change his life, he recounted to the elf that it was her fault for not heeding his warning. He reminded her that she had only a few seconds before the monster caught up to them again. As the monster approached, Yuyan handed her the staff, instructing her to direct the magic from it back at the creature, similar to her previous attack. The elf, frightened and claiming to have little magic power left, Yuyan insisted she climb up with the staff and charge it, as he doubted he could fight the monster barehanded for long. The elf, realizing she had only a quarter of her magic power left, considered running away, but Yuyan remained disappointed in her, asserting that the staff he gave her was sufficient for the task. Step into the monster zone. We can see that the students of the warrior school have heard these teachings countless times. They've been repeatedly reminded that in monster fights, raw strength is not the only essential factor. Timing and precision in striking attacks are equally crucial. Adventurers must develop a sense and ability to strike accurately in the right places. In a moment of focus and skill, our hero, utilizing a staff, aimed a blow at the monster's throat, or more precisely, its chin, causing it to open its mouth. This maneuver demonstrated the importance of timing and precision in combat.